Welcome to Lawyers Who Care, the video show podcast that highlights attorneys who go above and beyond for their clients. And on each episode, we will meet a new lawyer, and they will share stories of when they went beyond legal counsel for the benefit of their client. My name is Andrew Samalin. I'm the principal of Samalin Wealth, a nationally recognized wealth management firm for lawyers, their firms, and their clients. And let's applaud lawyers who care and learn from them. Today, my guest is Cary Jacobson, the founder and managing partner of Jacobson Family Law in Columbia, Maryland. Cary represents clients in all facets of family law, including divorce, custody and child support, and other related matters. Welcome, Cary.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Cary, tell us what brought you to the law, generally.
Yeah. So my parents were divorced when I was young. And along the way, my mom actually started working for an attorney. And that's really where I was exposed to the law. He was a general practitioner. And at the time I was like, well, there's no way that I would ever want to do like divorce work, because that was really a lot of what his practice was. Then fast forward, I went to law school and ended up falling in love with it. So I've known probably as young as 9 or 10 that being an attorney is what I was going to do.
And the family law component, obviously what you're bringing to the table is adding some insight to that. Tell us what type of practice modalities you use in your business.
Yeah. So our firm exclusively works on family law matters. And we emphasize helping clients resolve their disputes, whether it's custody, child support, divorce, division of assets, amicably, and to avoid that unnecessary conflict. You know, I did traditional litigation for a while and just saw how absolutely terrible it was for families, especially kids. And so I made it a conscious decision for us to work with clients to resolve their cases outside of court. So our firm actually does not handle any contested litigation.
What is the outcome there, both for you as a practitioner, as a human being, for your clients, for the family unit going forward? What does that look like?
Well, from a selfish personal standpoint, it's amazing because I'm not bound by the court schedule. I'm able to, really schedule my calendar in a way that works for me and my family. It allows me to be more present with my kids and my spouse, and we can travel more. And for our clients, it really takes away that conflict of interest, right? Because not only do we not litigate, we also charge flat fees. So from a client perspective, they don't have to be concerned that, oh, my attorney is dragging this out so that they can bill more or make it more contested because they're benefiting from this. And because ultimately we're not. We benefit if we get through the cases more quickly and helping them reach their goals of resolving their dispute outside of court.
And you mentioned you had a story that you wanted to share.
Yeah. So, when I'm working with clients, some people, I do a lot of the mediation side of the practice. And I once worked with a couple, that was really feeling stuck, and they had been separated for a bit, but they were having a lot of difficulties communicating and kind of reaching agreements. And so they were almost at the stage of where, they were going to go to court and ask a judge to make the decisions. But ultimately, I was able to help them craft, a resolution that worked for their family that they weren't necessarily thinking about, giving them some options and some tools to kind of consider that were not the traditional types of things. And ultimately, they were able to reach a resolution and avoid that costly and, stress of going to litigation.
So in the case of a mediation, when someone comes into your office, they see that obviously you're an attorney. Are you working in a legal capacity in that mediation process, or are you Are you not? And where do they get their representation in the case of them visiting you in the mediation setting?
So when I'm acting as a mediator, I am wearing a neutral hat. I'm not wearing my attorney hat. And so what I tell people that I'm working with is that I can give them information. I can give them options as to what I've seen other families and couples do. But I can't ever tell a couple or a individual, this is what you should settle for because it's in your best interest, because then I'm
you're giving information, you're not giving advice.
Correct. Exactly. Mm-hmm. And then I always encourage our clients to have outside counsel for them to get that legal advice. I would say most of our clients who choose mediation are doing so because they want to avoid attorneys, which I understand because, that sometimes complicates matters. But I often will refer them to people that I know are going to be mediation friendly, settlement friendly.
Mm-hmm. But what if there's a big imbalance of information, of experience, of capital, of one's own ability to advocate for one's self? Doesn't that open a number of risks for perhaps the non-moneyed spouse, for the spouse that just may not have, for lack of a better word, I don't want to say self-esteem, but maybe is afraid to advocate for him or herself? How does that imbalance play itself out in the mediation process?
Yes. So if I see that is a component, then I may speak out to that particular individual and suggest that they get additional professional resources, whether it's an attorney or working with a CDFA or talking to, a mortgage lender or something along those lines, depending on what their specific concern is, so that they come back into the sessions with more information. And so luckily I have, after doing this for so long, I have a great network of folks who work with these clients and that I can refer them to.
Got it. By the way, my guest is Cary Jacobson of Jacobson Family Law. They don't litigate. Cary, can you provide our audience with your contact information?
Absolutely. The best way to find us is on our website, which is jacobsonfamilylaw.com. We are also on all of the social media channels. We have YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, anywhere that you need to find us. So, and we also, I am a host of a podcast as well, which is Divorce Diaries, Lessons from the Trenches.
Lessons from the Trenches?
Yep.
Excellent. By the way, this has been the Lawyers Who Care video show podcast, speaking of which, that highlights attorneys who go above and beyond for their clients. And if you're an attorney or know one who does, feel free to reach out to us at 914-666-6600, 914-666-6600. Cary, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.